Where, meanwhile, the US and Germany are calling for Morsi's release. Let's get more now on one of our top stories, a case of Edward Snowden, who's applied for asylum in Russia. The US wants him sent home to face criminal charges, and President Barack Obama has raised his concerns directly in a telephone conversation that he's had with the Russian leader, Vladimir Putin. Richard Lugar is a former Republican senator from Indiana. He joins us now from Washington, D.C. Welcome to Al Jazeera, Senator. Some in the U.S. think that Snowden has done the public a service, that he's a hero. What do you think?
Well, I believe that Mr. Snowden himself, in his work with the human rights activists yesterday at the airport, indicated, and I cannot quote directly, but he said in essence, I am able to read your mail. I'm able to know really everything that you do. Now, that should be a warning not just to the United States, but to every country in the world, that Edward Snowden is able to go through hundreds of thousands of pages of intelligence collected by the National Security Administration, the NSA in the United States. Every country's secrets or intelligence or whatever is very vulnerable to being exposed by this man. This is the reason he is charged, indicted in the United States for having broken the law here. And the United States is seeking, obviously, for him to be sent back to the United States to stand trial on those charges.
Now, Snowden says he had to blow the whistle, that he didn't want to live in a society that does this sort of thing, this sort of spying. He says there are aspects of the prison program that are illegal. Is there nothing about the program that troubles you?
Well, I suspect that there may be many things that might trouble me and any American or any citizen around the world. Terrible things are happening, and they really deserve to be examined. But I would just simply say that it is not up to Mr. Snowden to try to unearth every mail piece all over the earth, and to do so and make his own judgments as to what ought to come and go. He's taking advantage of a situation in which citizens of many countries do not realize that the intelligence services, not only of the United States, but of their own governments, are very intrusive. The idea of collecting intelligence for national security is a very important obligation of every government. Now, if in every country someone decides simply to so-called blow the whistle, that is to reveal all of the intelligence operations, everything that is known or thought to be known, the world's diplomacy, in fact, the world's security would be chaotic. This is an intolerable situation, and Mr. Snowden surely knows it. He says, however, to the human rights people yesterday I saw, that he would do no harm to the United States if he got asylum in Russia, that he's a very good citizen of the United States. I think many United States citizens would beg to differ, and there would be skepticism, I think, around the world about his assertions.
Now, European nations like France are upset that they're allegedly being spied on, as are Latin American countries. You say that everybody is doing this on everyone, that everyone's spying on everyone. But to this extent, though, putting bugs in their fax machines and bugs in their embassies.
Well, I have no idea the extent to which each country has made these insertions, but I think you make a very good point that the public as a whole, for instance, in many European countries, is not aware of the aggressive nature of the intelligence operations of those countries. Perhaps citizens of Russia are aware of this, but I doubt it. I would just simply say that this type of revelation that comes from Mr. Snowden's activities comes as a shock to many persons around the world who wonder what is occurring in this age of the internet, the age of the cloud, this ability really for governments to be very, very intrusive about all of our activities. That does disturb almost any citizen in any country. Now, at that point, leaders of these countries and their parliaments are debating these issues because they have to talk about security of the country. How do you prevent a surprise attack? Can you find out before you are attacked that somebody is likely to hit you? That is very important in the defense of life in each country.
Yes, surveillance and spying might always have been with us a necessary security tool, but should governments have so much power and so many details about people's daily lives? Lots of questions remain. Senator, thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
The International Committee of the Red Cross is calling on rebels and government forces to allow aid to reach people in the besieged Syrian city of Homs.